The mirror and the mask, a tale of two reflections. We glance at our reflection countless times each day. The bathroom mirror, a store window, the back of a spoon. Our image is everywhere. We develop a sense of familiarity with this reflection, a version of ourselves we recognize and accept. But then, a photograph surfaces. We stare, bewildered. Is that really me? The image seems distorted, unfamiliar, and often unflattering. This discrepancy between our mirrored selves and our photographed selves is a common experience, a source of amusement and, for many, quiet distress. The brain's eye, hardwired for mirrored reality. Our brains, for all their complexity, are creatures of habit. They crave familiarity and consistency. When it comes to our reflections, this preference for familiarity plays a significant role in shaping our self-perception. From infancy, we interact with mirrors, learning to associate the reversed image we see with our sense of self. This constant exposure to a mirrored reflection becomes deeply ingrained in our neural pathways. Our brains adapt to this reversed image, processing it as our normal reflection. This adaptation is so profound that it extends beyond mere visual recognition. Studies have shown that people are better at recognizing themselves in mirrored images than in photographs. This suggests that our brains are not simply accustomed to seeing ourselves reversed, but are actively processing and interpreting mirrored images as our primary representation. Flipping the script, why photos feel backwards. If our brains are so accustomed to mirrored images, why then do photographs feel so jarringly off? The answer lies in the fundamental difference between how mirrors and cameras capture and display our image. A mirror reflects light directly back at us, creating a reversed image. This reversal is lateral, meaning it flips the image along a vertical axis. Our right side becomes our reflection's left, and vice versa. This lateral inversion is what our brains become accustomed to, the reflection we come to accept as our true selves. Cameras, however, operate differently. They don't reflect light but rather capture it, focusing the light that passes through a lens onto a sensor or film. This process of capturing and projecting light results in an image that is not reversed but rather a true representation of how we appear to the world. When we see a photograph, we are seeing ourselves as others see us, without the familiar lateral inversion. This sudden confrontation with our non-reversed image can be disorienting. Section 4. The Fickle Photographer Lens Distortion and You. The discrepancy between our mirrored and photographed selves is further complicated by the inherent limitations of photographic technology. Cameras, despite their ability to capture our true image, are not perfect recording devices. They are subject to a variety of distortions, both optical and technical, that can alter our appearance in subtle but significant ways. One of the most common distortions is lens distortion. Lenses, depending on their focal length and construction, can distort the perspective of an image, making objects appear larger, smaller, closer, or farther away than they actually are. This distortion is most noticeable at the edges of the frame, where straight lines can appear curved or bowed. The human face, with its curves and contours, is particularly susceptible to lens distortion. Wide-angle lenses, often used for group shots or selfies, tend to exaggerate features closer to the lens, making noses appear larger and faces rounder. Telephoto lenses, on the other hand, compress perspective, making features appear flatter and more proportional. The type of lens used can have a significant impact on how we perceive ourselves in photographs. Section 5. Lights, Camera, Illusion. The play of light and shadow. Lighting, often overlooked, plays a crucial role in how we perceive ourselves in both mirrors and photographs. Light has the power to sculpt and define our features, highlighting certain aspects while obscuring others. The way light interacts with our faces creates shadows and highlights, adding dimension and contour to our appearance. In mirrors, the impact of lighting is often subtle and forgiving. We typically encounter our reflections in well-lit environments like bathrooms or dressing rooms, where the lighting is designed to be diffuse and flattering. This soft, even lighting minimizes harsh shadows and softens imperfections, creating a more pleasing reflection. Photographs, however, are more susceptible to the whims of light. The direction, intensity, and color temperature of light can drastically alter our appearance in a photograph. Direct sunlight, for example, can cast harsh shadows, accentuating wrinkles and imperfections. Soft, diffused light, like that found on a cloudy day, tends to be more forgiving, creating even lighting and minimizing blemishes. Section 6. Facing the music: why we often dislike photographs. The discomfort many experience when confronted with their own photographs is not merely a matter of vanity. It's rooted in a complex interplay of psychological factors, including self-esteem, social conditioning, and the human brain's negativity bias. Our brains are wired to pay more attention to negative information than positive information. This negativity bias, while essential for survival, can also lead to heightened self-criticism. When we see a photograph of ourselves, our brains tend to focus on perceived flaws and imperfections, magnifying them out of proportion. This tendency is further amplified by societal beauty standards, which bombard us with unrealistic and often unattainable ideals of physical perfection. We are constantly exposed to airbrushed images of models and celebrities, creating a sense of inadequacy and fueling our own self-criticism. Social media, with its curated feeds and filters, exacerbates this issue, creating a feedback loop of comparison and self-doubt. We compare our unfiltered selves to the carefully constructed images of others, leading to feelings of dissatisfaction and insecurity. This constant exposure to idealized images can distort our self-perception, making us overly critical of our own appearance. Section 7. Mirror, mirror on the wall. The comfort of self-deception. While the discrepancy between our mirrored and photographed selves can be a source of discomfort, the mirror also offers a sense of comfort and control. The mirror allows us to curate our image, to present ourselves to the world in a way that aligns with our desired self-perception. We can adjust our posture, our expression, our hair, until we achieve a reflection that we find pleasing. This control over our reflected image provides a sense of agency and mastery, reinforcing our desired self-image. This curated reflection becomes a familiar and comforting presence in our lives. It's the image we greet each morning, the one we consult throughout the day, the last glimpse we see before bed. This constant exposure to our curated reflection reinforces our self-perception, creating a sense of consistency and stability in our ever-changing world. The mirror, in a sense, becomes a tool for self-affirmation, reflecting back the image we choose to see. This is not to say that the mirror is inherently deceptive. Rather, it highlights the human tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs and to filter out information that challenges those beliefs. This confirmation bias is a fundamental aspect of human cognition, influencing how we process information, make decisions, and even form relationships. The comfort we find in our mirrored reflections stems from this desire for consistency and self-affirmation. The mirror allows us to maintain a sense of control over our image, reinforcing our desired self-perception and providing a sense of stability in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable.